Now these Call of Duty games, we kind of know what these guns are. Most kids can tell you the names of guns, but then Call of Duty came out and started making shooting a little more
over sensationalized.
What are your thoughts when you see how that portrays when you have a young kid naming pistols that probably back in the 80s, a kid outside of the military would not know what this was?
That's fine, because our white counterparts, they know this stuff.
Okay.
But I think the issue is our white counterparts are teaching the safety along with it.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real life. Street Starz. You know what time it is.
What do you feel like as far as, with kids, all we had back in the day was maybe GoldenEye or something on Nintendo 64. Okay. But now these Call of Duty games, we kind of know what these guns are. Most kids can tell you the names of guns, but then Call of Duty came out and started making shooting a little more
over sensationalized.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts when you see how that portrays when you have a young kid naming pistols that probably back in the 80s, a kid outside of the military would not know what this was?
That's fine, because our white counterparts, they know this stuff.
Okay.
But I think the issue is our white counterparts are teaching the safety along with it. So your next question would probably be, how old is a child? How old should a child be when we start teaching them firearm safety or firearm responsibility?
Correct.
Go ahead.
And I want to answer like this. I want to preface it like this. Normally, a father walks in his son's room, 14, 15 years old. He see him on the internet holding a gun, and he'll chastise him. Where'd you get that gun from? Oh, blah, 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 blah. What? So that means you busted in on your son holding a gun. He got it from somewhere, and you may whoop him, get the gun, take it away from him, whatever. But there's no follow conversation about actually gun safety after that. You're right. Mm-hmm. Should there be more so the way a kid might come in, you might come in and find condoms in your kid's room. Mm-hmm. So okay, we have to have that conversation now. Right. Should it be more of that? Or maybe the father doesn't know, damn, I never used a gun before. You out here waving it on Instagram and I don't know what the hell's going on. Get that out of my house.
Mm-hmm. So again, we're going back to the black male ego, right? You said father, so we'll deal with that, not just his mom. Okay. It's the fathers, again, remember those times when you were in school when you were in school and you brought home some homework and you asked mom or dad for help, and that math was more advanced than what they did.
Right, facts, baby.
Baby, I can't. Hey, baby, hey. You know what I'm saying? So it's our responsibility as parents. I'm gonna say something real fucked up in a minute. It's our responsibility as parents to foresee the inquisition of our children, right? Perfect example. Texas DPS states that you will be brought up on criminal negligence if a child gains access to a firearm because you left it in a place in which you knew or should have known the child would gain access. So that child that has a gun in his room, playing around, negligent discharge, hurts himself or someone else, the state is going to say you should have known that child would gain access to that firearm. Yes, sir.
Where should you keep your gun at if you have a kid in the house?
Okay, let's go back. How old is your child when you teach your child firearm safety?
Yeah, that's the question.
Okay, because now, I'll play it backwards. Okay, let's just say you keep your gun in the safe, right? You can send a little lock box right next to the bed. Okay? Middle of the night, boom, you hear somebody kicking your door in, they're hauling ass to your room, ready to spray you up. How long is it gonna take you to get that gun in the safe?
I think about that.
Okay, so perfect example. I can leave my gun on the counter if my child already knows firearm safety. Now, go back to my question. How old should a child be before we teach them firearm safety? Garbage. How old were you when your parents taught you not to stick your finger in the light socket, touch the stove, play with knives? You couldn't even talk. Barely could walk.
But I still did it though.
You still did it because you didn't know the consequences.
No, I'm saying I did it, and then I figured out the consequences.
You see, because you weren't given the resources prior to. Perfect example. Some stuff you just didn't play with, right? Mommy and daddy taught you look left, look right, look left before you walk across the street. Did you play with traffic? Some shit you just not gonna do, right? But it's a parent's responsibility to show. Perfect example. My son Of course, I teach him. And then we had a situation in Balk Springs. Remember that kid got shot in the head in Balk Springs by that cop? Roy Oliver shot the guy? Yep. I woke him up in the middle of the night and I showed him what was going on. This is why dad don't want you roaming around acting a fool. Because people do stupid shit like that. We can't be afraid to expose our children to the bad things in life. We have to do that because guess what? You don't know what you don't know. Children are inquisitive. They want to learn these things. But because we don't know and we're terrified, we're afraid, we had an early childhood trauma, we want to keep our children away from it. No, the easiest way to keep your child away from danger is teach them the danger. That's it. Teach them the danger. How many times did you cut the grass as a young child and you knew not to stick your hand under the damn lawnmower?
That's facts.
Come on, bro.
That's facts.
It's no different.